Hey guys, yep, I'm here with my 15,000 mile review, and yeah, I know by the title, major problem. And it may not be a major problem for some, but it's an absolute huge problem for me. And I'm gonna get right to it. The major problem is my purchase of my next bike. And what I mean by that is, I'm gonna compare that bike to this bike. And my major problem is going to be, it's going to be really hard to find a bike that compares to this bike. Now I know some people are probably laughing already, and you know, it's just an overgrown dirt bike or blah blah blah. You know, you get some people who are just, you know, that I see people saying that it's really not as good as they say. It's not dependable. All the bullshit that I'll go through later. But to me, this bike is absolutely perfect bike for everything, and it doesn't give up. I don't feel I've given up anything not having a particular bike for the, you know, the type of riding that I want to do at the time. Like if I want to be sporty, oh, I wish I had a Gixxer or just a Hyper Naked or something. Or if I just want to cruise and relax, oh, I wish I had a big old Indian or a Harley. Or if I just want to just pop around town, oh, I wish I had some. Well, I do have a Speedmaster, you know, something lighter or anything like that. Or if I wanted to go off dirt, go on dirt, I wish I had just a true dirt bike. Well, this bike that I have now, for me, is absolutely perfect, and it covers all those types of riding styles and situations and stuff. And I'm just saying, again, I say it's for me, is because handling wise, the bike handles super. I hear people say, oh, it's not as sporty as say a RS, you know, the R1250GS or the RT. I don't know, I haven't ridden those bikes, maybe they are, but I can't push this. When I put this in dynamic mode, when I push this bike hard, and that's my skill level, it never lets me down. I've never say, wow, that thing was just not, it just really didn't go into the turn right, or it's just too wallowy or loose or whatever. I've never ever experienced any of that for my skill level. I've been spoiled. So there, folks, there it is. I know it's a clickbait title, but basically that to me is a major issue with this bike. It's that good. Next, so let's move on. So let's move on to some dislikes, because I have a couple, but these couple would never stop me from buying another one, even if they didn't make a 1300. I could see myself getting another 1250. So the first dislike is, obviously, I've said it before, the engine. It just sounds like a diesel when it warms up. It's very loud on the one side more than the other. When it's cold, it purrs like a kitten. It has a nice little grunt. But as soon as that oil thins out, man, it just or the engine gets hot or whatever, it just clackety clack clack clack, and that's a disappointment for such a company as BMW. I think that's something they need to address, but it won't stop me from buying the next one. But that would be my major complaint. A little gripe would be the wheels are a pain in the ass to clean, but that's because I guess my laziness or whatever. I'm not a big spoke fan, even though I like the way this bike looks with the spokes. Definitely next bike I get will have aluminum rims. So cleaning the rims are a pain. If I can think of another dislike, you know, I can't even think of anything major, so if something pops in my head, I will. But I'm just going to move on to the likes. We're at 15,000 miles. Let's see if I can bring it up so you guys. 15,190. I want to do it exactly at 15,000, but just I had the bike out and didn't have a camera. But whatever. So as you can see, it's got 15,000. There you go, buddy, right there, buddies. And yeah, so it's 50. So I own it just about 2 years and 3 months. But the major like of this bike is its dependability. Yep, I said it, dependability. This bike is one of the most reliable vehicles I've ever owned. I've now, granted, I haven't taken it hard off-road, so I don't know if that would affect the reliability of this bike, but I beat the hell out of this bike. The first day I got it, it had 200 miles on it. I didn't wait for break-in. I just cranked that throttle, and I was right up to 120 miles an hour. So I've beaten the piss out of this bike from day one. Now, guys, you don't see me riding nuts. I don't do it like every time I hop on the bike, but I get on the bike a lot. So its dependability has been absolutely absolutely just perfect. I mean, it's reliable, dependable. Not one single issue did I have to bring it back to the dealer. Not one single thing on the bike has fallen off. There's no rust. One guy was saying they're rusty and they don't handle well. I don't know where that guy got. I don't know if he made a comment on my side. He might have made a comment, but I mean, the fasteners, everything on the bike is top quality. It's got braided brake lines. It's just, everything is top quality on this bike. This is a premium bike, no doubt about it. Yes, it's expensive, but you're getting what you pay for. So dependability, absolutely. Number one thing I like about this bike is the dependability. Next, I could say quality. Throw that in there, quality, because the quality of this bike is just I just love it. I love everything about this bike, as far as fit and finish and everything else. Nothing's rattled, nothing's came loose, and nothing has fallen off this bike. And the only thing I brought this bike back for that had a recall on it, but I didn't bring it back for it. I was getting tires changed at my local dealer where I bought the bike in Jersey, because I just like their service, and he just cuts me a break all the time. So I said, you know what, let them take the tires off and put new tires on it. That was after about 7,000 miles or 8,000 miles. And yeah, so Kenny, getting right in gear. Okay, yeah, so can't talk and ride, can I? So when I was in there, he said that you know what, there's a recall on the front brakes. I don't think yours are leaking. They don't look bad, but let's change them anyway. So I said, go ahead, change them. So that's it. But I didn't bring it in because it was a problem, because I didn't have a problem. So that's the only thing that this bike has seen a dealer for. Everything else, I do all the maintenance myself, everything like that. You guys know that. All right, so let's move on to the next like, because now you know a bike is an extremely reliable and dependable bike. So the next like is it's ergonomics. I sat on this bike at a dealer at a motorcycle show about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and I was just looking at different bikes. I was really interested in the 900 XR because it was kind of like adventurous but sporty, and I said, you know what? And it was priced right, about 11, 12 grand. I said, you know, maybe I'll go with that. I don't really want to spend 20, 25,000 on a bike. But I sat on this one, and when I sat on it, I said, man, this fits me like a glove. Everything just fits so perfectly. The reach of the handlebars, the seat, and everything. So ergonomics, just sitting on it in the showroom or at a dealer or at a bike show, the bike was perfect. So that's a major like for me, because that first impression of the bike is really important to me. And so I took it for a ride, and that's all it took me was that one ride, and I was absolutely blown away. So the handling of this bike is a super like on this thing. It handles superb. It rides just so comfortably. And I say this all the time. How can a bike that is so comfortable to ride handle so good? You figure you're going to give up something, you know? When you have a bike that handles. And the agility of the bike. I mean, in parking lots, it's so easy to make U-turns. It's so well balanced. So the ride quality, the handling, the comfort, super likes. So ride quality, handling. Okay, guys, we're just going to pull into. Sorry, I'm not cutting this short. I'm just going to do a couple of segments. And I figured, what the hell, let me go up to Lake Buckhorn and do a walk around. So I'm going to do a walk around, but then we'll get back into more likes. I'll just kind of split this in the middle. But yeah, it's just the ride. The quality is just, it's super. It's super. And I was thinking, yeah, maybe I should get an RS because I don't go off-road much. But then I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't want to be leaned forward. I want to lean forward when I want to lean forward, when I want to get sporty. This bike is just too comfortable. So let's see if I can find some place that I can do a walk around. It's pretty comfortable. Yeah, so it's a sporty bike for me. It basically, that's why, guys, I say it's ruined it for the next bike, because I'm looking at this bike and thinking, or I'm riding this bike, looking at this bike, are there going to be other bikes that can do everything this bike can do? And I don't know if there is or not. So all right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick walk around and I'll show you my new gear, and then we'll get back to the rest of the review, and maybe I can talk more of the review as I'm walking it around. All right, guys, we're back, and we're going to do a walk around, and we're going to talk. Hopefully you guys can hear this. I'm going to see if I can raise my voice. because I know it comes in low sometimes, and I'll keep the camera close to my face. So I just want to go over the things I've done, and we were talking about the sportiness of the ride. I think the bike is sporty, and as you can see, I made the bike more sporty looking, more sport touring than adventure. And I know a lot of guys say, well, why did you just, friends of mine, why don't you just get an RS or a 1250 RS or the RT, or, and I just, that wasn't, I don't know, because I didn't test ride them, and I test rode this, and this seems to do it all. I don't think it lacks anything in as far as sportiness is concerned, power-wise or anything like that. And when I get on a bike, again, I'll talk about the acceleration and performance of the bike. But yeah, so here, let's walk up to the bike and see the first thing I did. We'll just cruise around this way. I guess you guys can see my new gear. Sorry about that. And it's a Revit Air for a riding shirt, so it's pretty cool. And it's cool in a lot of ways. I have a thermal on, but without the thermal, it's I was out in Florida, 90 degrees, 85 degrees, and it kept me cool. And once you stop, you feel a little bit of heat. But let's get back to the bike. So the bike was the bars, the crash bars by SW Motec, and they were pretty easy to put on. And I know it's kind of a venture type deal, but I don't know what I was going to do with the bike. So I don't know if I would have put them on. I don't know what I would have done. I also changed the foot pegs. Oops, and I got to get this camera closer, guys. I'm sure I don't know if you heard me. I'll try to raise the volume a little bit. But yeah. So yeah, I like the SW Motec stuff. It's pretty good stuff. Also, here we go with I put on the SW Motec pegs because they're a little wider and they have a little bit of an angle this way. And this is a Amazon piece, Chinese piece. Like $20, but I like it because it sticks out, very easy to put on, and it's lasted 2 years. So let's see what else we did. Okay, I removed the hand grips, as you could see. Not a big hand grips. Hand guards, I'm not a big fan of them. I think, well, maybe that might be a little bit of complaint, or not a deal breaker, but I think they could have designed them a little better. Like my Triumph Scrambler, they were really nice with aluminum trim and just kind of solid. These things were really flimsy. I guess maybe they designed to break away, but I didn't like them, so I took them off. And I don't find a big difference between the protection from cold weather. If they were taller, maybe. I also put grip puppies on. I love them things. Some people complain. They say, not complain. Some people say, well, if you put them on, the heated grips don't work as well. Well, let me tell you, the heated grips just work fine. I also did a protection for the headlight, because the headlight lens you cannot buy separately. And so that was just cheap insurance. I put this on the nose because I don't know, I was bored and I wanted to put that on. It's a BMW piece. I didn't want the Chinese one. Also put the Denali lights on. Love the Denali lights. I know that's an adventure look, but man, are they bright, and they're cool. They have lots of cool features to them. So what else? Okay, you put this mud guard. Okay, I guess you can see the name. All right, guys, I know I got to keep the phone next to my mouth because otherwise you guys are going to lose the voice. I'm going to have to adjust it when in editing, but whatever. So there's the mud guard. Just keeps everything clean. Also, as you can see, I got it. It doesn't say it on it, but it's a MIVV exhaust. It's just a little pipe, and that comes off the flapper, and it's nice. It's only $300 right from Italy. It sounds nice, and you can remove the baffle, and you guys have heard it before. I don't really need to start it up, but yeah. So we'll go on the other side in a second, but I want to show you the wheels for a second, and let's see if I can see if you see what I just did. They get so dirty so quickly, and it's a pain to clean. And even when you clean them, like, watch, I can't even get that. They like to oxidize. So, but they look great when they're clean, but they are a pain to clean. So. And then I got my Road 5 tires, which absolutely makes this bike a sporty bike. I put on, yeah, I got to remember to keep this camera close to me. Those are Road 5 tires, and the bike is real sporty with them. And I also put a Denali brake light on, which flashes 3 times when you hit the brake, and then stays on. Talking about the turn signals, I put LED bulbs on it because BMW at the time didn't make a turn signal big enough. The swept area wasn't big enough for US DOT regulations, so he just popped in some LED bulbs, so it's kind of nice. And also want to talk about the shifter, and this is by SW Motec, as you can see, and spring loaded there, adjustable. I love the way it looks. It's super high quality, and it's adjustable because I like a lot of distance between here and here, and I just moved it all the way up, and I'm loving that. So that's cool. So that's it, I think. I don't think there's much else I did. I got my little RAM mounts, and you can see how my camera is all mounted. And I put a port in there because it has the European type socket, so I just had to put an adapter so I can charge my phone and, you know, the rest of the stuff. I guess that's it. I don't see anything else that I did to the bike. And I got my, you know, my Nelson rig. I love this bag. It fits. It'll come up a lot higher, about 2 more inches, and I can fit a lot. And I got another little bag here to put, like, you know, paperwork, registration, stuff like that, insurance card. So it's all good. So that's it for what I've done to the bike. I guess that's it. And we're going to get back on it, and I'm going to talk about performance and the rest of the stuff I like about the bike. And so, guys, just any questions, just feel free to ask. But that's it, guys. That's everything I've done to the bike. It's 15,000 miles. It looks great. Nothing's fell off the bike. There's no rust anywhere. All the nuts and bolts, all the hardware, the fasteners are just top quality. Just a great bike. Anybody that knocks this bike, I guess they have issues with it. Maybe they just butthurt because of they can't own one. Who knows what the reason is? But it's a really great bike. It's a really great bike. All right, let's get back on it, and we'll just talk about performance and the other likes. So so let's talk about the next likes, and the next like is going to be performance as far as acceleration is concerned. Did a couple of videos back, and did a 0 to 60 in 3.25 seconds, and didn't even get the launch I wanted, but I was pretty impressed with it. It's got so much torque. Like, I'm in 4th gear, say put it in 5th gear, I'm doing 50 miles an hour. I don't need the downshift, and I'm at almost 70 already. It's no need to downshift at all. It's just, and no lugging, no whatchamacallit. It's nice. The next thing I do that I really like is, what I'm blown away by, is the dash. The TFT screen is just amazing. It's just so easy to read, whether it's bright sunshine or you know, it's just easy to read, easy to navigate. Now, when you first get on it, there's lots of little buttons here and there, and but you get used to it. It just becomes muscle memory, and you just do it. So it's not a big deal. Yeah, it might be a big deal for reviewers because they just hop on the bike for an hour or less, and they find little difficulties in there. And I don't really take that. I take that with a grain of salt. You need to be on the bike for a long time. That's why probably the biggest thing with bikes to me is its ergonomics and comfort. You can't really tell that in a super short ride. So then I guess we can move on to, I know I went through the ergonomics and everything, but the seating position is just excellent for me. It's just like it's made to fit me. And some guys, you know, they want to be more in a tuck position, I guess, if you get sporty, but I can just tuck myself in when I want to get sporty, and I don't feel, I'm 5'11", I don't feel cramped at all. So that's also just a plus on this bike. So yeah, so we're back to more likes. So styling is subjective. When I first started to look at the bike, it was in blue. When I took a ride, I didn't really like the blue and gray. It just didn't do anything for me. But the black one I really like, and styling is so subjective, so it's not even, you know, I don't even show it. I like it, but it may not be for everybody. I do like the way the RS looks, though, the 1250 RS. But I don't know if I want to be riding that all the time. I want a bike that, if I want to just hop on. So here, another like. This is a bike that I can be sporty with, and I think I already talked about it earlier, but I can hop on the highway and just ride for hours among hours and be totally comfortable. It's got just enough wind protection. This is what I like about it. All right, so now this is another like that's probably also, maybe I should have mentioned this sooner, but it's very high on my list. And that's the ease of maintenance on this bike. This bike is just so easy to work on. It's amazing. The oil change, the oil filter, the air filter, even the valves. Now, I understand some people don't want to mess with the valves, but it's all easy to work on, especially the oil. Guys that complain that this is an expensive bike to maintain, if you can't change your own oil, should you be riding a motorcycle? Now, I know if you want to have it done, if you want somebody to do it and you just don't feel like doing it, fine. But don't complain about the expense when you can do it yourself. not hard. I don't get when I hear that it's so expensive, and it's not hard to work on these bikes at all. It's just it's unbelievable. The maintenance, and you know, that's a big part when I have a bike. I mean, I didn't know it was going to be easy, but I could say, well, you can get to everything, and that's huge. So it's an easy bike to work on. It's inexpensive to maintain. I don't care what any of these people say. I don't even care what the pros say. It's all bullshit to me, because I don't spend any more money than I spend on any other bike. It's the same, because I do everything myself. And like I said, an oil change is very easy. If you've trained yourself to become proficient in riding a motorcycle, you can easily learn how to change oil. It's not a big deal at all. So it's hard for me to understand why people don't want to do their own maintenance. And when you do your own maintenance, you're basically in control of the bike more. You can look for things that are loose or not loose and stuff like that. So the other like is easy to maintain, cheap to maintain. Those are huge likes for me. You know, it's just trying to think of some more things that I don't forget. But I guess that's it, guys. I guess I've done it all as far as the likes. As you can see, I'm a big fanboy of this bike. I love this bike, and I'm not concerned about what other people say. At first, when I used to say, well, maybe there's an issue with this bike, but I've had no issues with the bike. Like I said, it's the most dependable vehicle. It's one of the most dependable vehicles I've ever owned. And you can take that to the bank. You can believe me, you don't have to believe me. I don't really give a shit. All I know is that I got a great bike, and I can depend on it anywhere, anytime, which is very important to me. So there it is, guys. That's my thoughts. If something pops in my head, I'll talk about it. But it's been a really good bike, guys, and I'm looking forward to the summer and riding some more, and who knows what adventures I'll be on. But we'll talk again. My next video, I don't know what it'll be like. I'm sure it'll be back to my normal dull, just cruising around North Carolina. I do want to hit yeah, I can't even say goodbye to you guys. I do want to hit the Blue Ridge Parkway in western part of the state of North Carolina. And if I'm not, I got some racing stuff to come up. If I'm not busy doing that, I'm going to head out there and we'll do a video over there. So, all right, guys, real good. I appreciate you watching, and talk to you soon.